I don't think people understand the magnitude of this because you're the president of parliament. Your sole role is to maintain order and to facilitate neutrality. If someone cannot explain to you the vision they have for the island, why you're voting for them? He was warned by a higher supervisory entity.
Oh, shit.
Not to do it, and he still did it. The Constitution is the base of our country, is the base of Aruba. If you want to operate in such a way, I cannot deposit my vote in your next term.
Do you see your party doing another coalition with MEC?
Is there anything about the LNG thing you can speak up, or do you know about it?
I am not governed by fear. If you want to have a decent conversation with me, if you want to reach something, don't think bullying me will get that done. I might not be your politician, but I am somebody's politician. Because I fight for things I say I'm going to fight for. And of course, I love you guys, but
Thank you.
I do get a very unwelcoming feeling because Shark has a certain...
I was walking away. I have to come back.
You have to stay for this.
Why did you ever get in politics? Hey, yo, what's up?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Guys, welcome back to ABC Island's favorite podcast, No Filter in Paradise, a show about anything and everything. And for today, it's going to be politics.
Ooh.
I lost the track of my fucking
Between
life.
two friends.
Between two friends. One is three, and some people think we're married. I don't understand
Don't
why.
do that.
Oh, tell the people that fucking see us as in Azars. Don't come up to us and say, y'all still married? Bitch, wait. No, I am. But anyways, between two friends, one is straight and the other is hella.
Can I
Black
just say
and gay,
something?
and I don't have lotion and a haircut, okay? So don't feel fuck with me.
What
But
are you
if
going to say?
you do want to get married, it's possible.
Pearl!
It's possible. I'm just saying.
She doesn't
I'm
have.
just saying. It's
Right
possible.
off the bat. Like, not us.
It's
No.
just, I'm just saying.
No.
It's possible.
I'll call it
Not
some
between
bullshit,
us.
but
No, ma'am.
not interested
Wall.
at all. Zero interest.
Feeling is 100% mutual.
Thank you.
Amen.
That's the one thing we actually agree on.
100%.
And okay, good. All right, guys. So today, obviously, you already saw because I had to switch the camera towards her. We have a special guest here today. We call it the hot seat, which means like. Can I curse around you? Like, is that okay?
Go ahead.
Really?
I just want to be respectful, you know.
Go ahead.
We cursed around everybody
Fucking
else.
hot. Yeah, that's very true. I don't know why I asked.
It shouldn't be a difference.
myself.
It shouldn't be a difference.
They know where
Good.
they come in.
Good.
Hey.
She's in hot shit right now, and she reached us out and I'm like, hey, listen, can I come on the show? I'm like, fuck yeah, you can. And we're here today with Miss Misha. Welcome to the show.
Muchas gracias.
Well, first of all, no Spanish unless you talk to her. But yeah. That's all him.
Never.
That's all. He's
Never.
part-time Latino.
No, I would never infringe on him.
Thank you.
I do have to say though,
I know you love the studio, right?
I love the studio. I love the light. I love the whole concept. And of course, I love you guys. But
Thank you.
I do get a very unwelcoming feeling because Shark has a certain.
I was walking away. I had to come back.
You have to stay for this.
I have to stay. Wait.
Shark has a certain color nails.
Shark, show your nails.
Show your nails.
Damn. Andari budget, t-shirt di hati si.
Okay, stop. Don't do that.
No, Shark. Like the subliminal
Look,
message is
I'm here black. I'm neutral,
yeah.
rather. I'm a funeral.
Hey, I come in peace. I come in.
Yeah.
I come in
The Virgin Mary.
Hey.
I am here to fucking fix things.
Okay, let me just say one thing, okay, guys?
Oh, fucking God.
Colors been existing before politics. They're going to exist after politics. I had my nails done before this. Okay, we did not know gobierno tatay kai. Di con gobierno kai.
No,
Oh,
people
shit.
get it.
Oh, Shark, we can't just jump into it right away.
Okay, sorry.
You guys have to wait, you know, when you're teasing.
Everybody trying to call out.
It doesn't matter. Listen, we can't just like jump in there, like tease a little bit. Like, hey, we'll stay water, minute,
The
okay?
people ain't got time for that.
I got time for that, all right? Let them fucking wait, all right? 10 minutes. Before we jump into this whole scandaloso thing that's happening in Aruba, I just want to know, why did you ever get in politics to begin with?
First and foremost, I was not someone who followed politics true and true. You get certain messages and get certain developments when it comes to politics, but I was not someone who was like, that is my aspiration in life. But I've been working as a psychologist for 11 years. I work with kids, I work with families, and you start to notice that politics has a big influence on the work you do, especially if you work with people, work with kids, work with families. And the opportunity presented itself, and I wasn't even sure back then yet. But to make a long story short, my CV got passed on to Raiz. And they contacted me, and I was like, I'll do a trial run with you all. I'm gonna go
3 months, 90 days.
I'm gonna see what it's all about. And lo and behold, I said yes. And I said yes because of the opportunities politics provide to change certain systems or certain developments on the island. Well, I'm going to start off right off the bat. My first motion I dedicated to was for speech therapy, logopedie.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I need that.
No, that was for me. If there was ever a reason, I'm going to go in politics and do something, that would have been the first one.
Yeah.
Because after 11 years and seeing what kids go through, not being able to get this therapy because their family couldn't afford it, like because you can't afford it.
What does it help with, like to help like speak properly or stutter this or?
It helps with to speak properly. It helps with stutterness, but it also helps kids with ADHD or autism to learn how to use language to communicate. Because often when you have ADHD, for example, you're so easily distracted, you don't even have time to concentrate to learn language. Like you're all over the place. And autistic kids, they don't use language as a communication. They use language out of function, if it's functional.
Yeah.
So they really explore parts of their development with speech therapy that they could actually be included in our society and communicate and use their speech to actually be part of a social environment. So to me, that was the biggest one. Some might say a little controversial one, but hey, if you don't show up for what you believe in, nobody else is going to.
Facts. That should be on a T-shirt.
Right?
That should
Make
be
sure
on
you put hashtag it came from Misha.
No. It came from No Filter. You know what? I'm gonna delete that part. And I'm like, hey, put it on a shirt. He came out with it first, but I said on the show, there's no fucking proof.
Hey, do you know what happened to Facebook?
No.
No? Okay, you should
If
watch
I
the movie.
act first,
Hey, but everything that you participate in, you have to stand 100% behind it. And that is something I've shown throughout all my years in all my years, listen to me, and the 3 years that I've been in Parliament. I think I've shown people that when I say I'm going to stand for something, I'm going to stand for it. And I heard the Prime Minister say there were other moments that the government should have fallen. For example, when I stood firm for logopedie and said, I really want to see welvaart and welzijn. If you're going to introduce a law that's going to spike your welvaart, make it go one in one, line in line with welzijn. Why do we not prioritize this? Why doesn't it have urgency? So I want to see the same urgency to develop our economic status, to be put also in the development of our people and our kids. So I took a stand. But it did get to a point where it's a reality today. Because the urgency and the way I pushed for it, it's obvious that it led to this. Another thing that was sad is, when I signed the law of same-sex marriage with someone from the opposition, that should have been a reason for the government to go home. No, that's how
I remember them saying, like, gobierno de Becay.
But I think people don't understand how Parliament functions.
I don't think nobody does. Can you
Could
break
you,
it down?
Listen, even before we started recording, we said like a lot of people don't understand how things work in the government, Parliament. I don't fully understand it. So like, can we just give it a little bit of a breakdown? Like, I don't want to use the word dumb it down. Like, dumb it down for us.
No, dumb it the fuck down.
Are you smarter than an 8th grader? I'm not. All right.
Okay, let me see. How do I explain this?
Small words, please. Like.
No. Dus niet Nederlands.
Alsjeblieft niet. Nee.
Definitivamente no es
No.
English.
No, we're gonna stick to English.
Yeah.
Mita se te enviaré
Sí.
But at the end of the day, Parliament is the representation of the people. That's where the people are being represented, and that's why when ideas come forward, you need a majority of 11 to support an idea in Parliament. It's different from a minister, we zijn minister die ministerraad, and the way things get done in ministerraad is different from in Parliament. And you do have trias politica, een onderscheid van machten. You do have to separate the powers, because one cannot influence the other.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the government, you have the Parliament, and in the Parliament, decisions are made based on majority. So if you come up with a great idea, let's say you want to turn off all the street lights at 10 p.m. And Parliament's like, no, that's going to be difficult for traffic and you can't do that. You're not going to get a majority. So you might have your idea. In your case, you might think it's a good idea, but it's not going to lead to it being affected because you don't have the majority in Parliament.
Parliament's like to like kind of like not control, but like como te dices,
hold accountable. I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
it
what's
is-
that? Esta buena idea, pero mira que, like,
But
great
it's-
idea, but we're not gonna.
But
put
that's
it through.
democracy, is the voice of the people, because
Yeah.
we have 21 seats. And to get a majority is 11 from that 21.
Yeah.
So when you speak something or you bring something forward and you're looking for people to actually sustain what you're saying, you need majority, because that's a majority of the representation of the people.
Yeah.
So parliament is where all these representations of our community come together and decisions are made. And it's not going to be made easy for you, because your idea might be good, but it doesn't mean it's supported by the people.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important when you bring something forward, you need to have support for your motion, your amendment, your law, numero. So parliament, basically that's how it functions. You need majority for things to pass. But you also need majority when you want to name someone in a position, like the president of parliament. And we'll get to that in a bit. But it's a very important function, because if you are voted into a position to represent the people, but you don't need majority to make decisions, then it's a skewed representation of how the people voted. So it's very important that democracy is respected in parliament. It's very important when someone asks for something and they get the support, let's say to call a law to be treated, you have to respect what the people asked for, because that's how democracy works. And year in, year out, decades, democracy in parliament has not functioned the way it should have. And that is something I think people should be aware of. Your vote is represented in parliament. We vote for parliamentary elections. We don't vote for ministers. So if you want your vote, if you want your ideas, your wishes, your wants to be represented, you have to vote. If you're 18 and up, you have to vote. Because a lot of people don't realize voting is you participating in the course of your life.
So, Misha, can I ask you this real quick? I feel like with that question, just to segue real quick, what do you feel like people should look into when voting for somebody, anybody? What are like certain things that they have to look forward in? Let's say, for instance, like, hey, what is your campaign plan? What is your 4-year plan? What do you want to do? Like, what is your opinion on that?
What's that? If I could say something about that, I would want people to vote for the vision. Because a lot of times we vote for things that are popular. A lot of times we vote for, I want to say popularity. I understand that's a part of politics as well. But if someone cannot explain to you the vision they have for the island,
why are you voting for that person?
why you're voting for them?
Habla.
Just
Click your yellow nails.
Yellow
You're so funny. Click your yellow nails. Click your yellow nails.
Oh,
But
God.
I really want people to understand. No? I didn't understand it as much as after I joined politics, how much politics involves itself with your life. And if you can start off at a young age understanding that if you wanted to pick the course of your life, you have to participate in that narrative. You have to vote. And if you don't know how to vote or what to vote for, get informed. Information is key. But all I'm saying and all I'm asking is when you vote for someone, don't vote on things that might sound pretty, because everything shines when
factuals.
Don't try to understand what that person has as a vision for the island. And you might agree or disagree, but that's how democracy works. If you have a vision that does not incite in people to actually vote for you, that's because the people are not ready for that. And you have to respect democracy.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was gonna add to that by saying, like, and even like for people who are in government or whatever, if people don't agree with you, don't get mad. Like, just like, oh, you know what? I understand. Like, if me and Shark, like, we don't agree on something, like, all right, we don't want, or you know what I mean? Don't fight.
No, but it's very important that you say this. You know why? If you don't have a difference of opinion, there's no growth.
Correct.
If everybody thought the same way, we're not going to move. We'll be stagnant. We're not going to grow. So we need difference of opinion. We need debates. We need to talk about the difficult things, because then you don't know what is really going on in your community. So we need to have a difference of opinion. I am all out for a difference of opinion, because that's when the discussion starts.
Correct. I love it.
And that's where you talk about things. Like, if you're like, okay, I'm going to defend my yellow nails. Those yellow nails are going to come back throughout the whole episode, Charles. I hope you know that.
It's okay.
So if you're like, I'm going to defend my yellow nails, I'm going to have these yellow nails, I was like, okay, that's good. But I like a more pinkish nails. And then you're like, yeah, but yellow is the color. Like, we can have that discussion. It doesn't lead to me and you not liking each other or hating each other. I might even rock some yellow nails in the
Yeah.
future.
God.
Hey, only the nails.
Just the nails.
Only the
Just the
nails.
nails. We don't push it past the nails, baby.
Okay, thank you. But I mean to say, like,
Yeah.
we need to have a discipline. You know what? One of the big things they say about kids that we need to teach them how to be critical thinkers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Sorry to cut you off right there. When I went to APE, there was a subject called critical thinking.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the most boring, dumb. Like, why am I here?
But why did you think that? Why did you think that?
It's well, at that point I didn't like. Why should I? Some things she would say for me, I'm like, but that's common sense. Like, why am I here? Like, or maybe it's for some people who don't really have common sense. It's to help you think, a little bit
Common
different.
sense is not common.
Yeah, that's another shirt right there. Don't steal that one. Shark
No,
stole it.
I won't. Hashtag Misha didn't steal it. But at the end of the day, look, critical thinking is a very essential part
Yeah.
in the development, in how you view the world, how you participate. If we are not and how do you get to critical thinking? Is when you question things. But we are taught we are not supposed to question things because it's not culturally correct. And I'm the grown-up and I'm telling you it is like it is, so you're going to have to do it the way I say you have to do it.
Yeah.
But if you compare it to other cultures, I'm just going to use for reference the Dutch culture, kids question everything. Mama, papa, waarom dit, waarom dat?
And they get straight answers.
And they get straight answers. Was that hardly ever you're going to hear a parent say, it's because I said so. Because then you don't learn how to question things. And that critical thinking has to develop all the way also into our politics. Question things. Understand things. Why are we going a certain route? And what information are we missing? Where do we have to get at? What do you want to see in your island? What do you want to see done? Where do you want to go? I have a very clear vision where I want to see our development go, development of the people. I understand we need money. I understand the economic part. I get that. But I personally feel, and that's why I joined politics, I feel our people are being left behind.
100%. I agree.
I feel we are not participating as we should in the labor market. I feel when opportunities present, we feel where we're not up to par. I feel like we don't feel like we belong on a certain level and scale when it comes to worldly population. So
I agree.
I really want people to understand the fight I carry is for let's help our people develop to a certain stage where they are forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And that's what I really want to achieve with the politics that I'm carrying.
It also really has not to like drink the Kool-Aid or like, hey, like you said earlier, like just question everything. You see something somebody says something like "sa pero di con." Like,
I think that gets me in a lot of problems. It gets me in a lot of trouble.
Me too.
It's because people, and I have this issue too. Like, and we've talked about this as well multiple times, where like I sometimes don't want to question things because I know they're gonna start some shit.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to waste my fucking time on this.
I get
you know.
that. Yeah,
so
I
that's
get
why. But that's he said something. Shark corrects it. But that's where you have to say something because then you're always gonna hold on to this like not grudge, but like you gotta hold on to something like.
I never said it. Like it's gonna live inside of you. Will you just say the shit? Like if you get mad, you get mad. I mean, try to say it in the nicest way possible, but say what you have to say. Get it off your chest.
Exactly. That is a very important thing to do.
And I like debates. I feel like in debates and stuff like this is where you get to learn perspectives. Because people are going to tackle you with things that you probably didn't look at it in that way. So it's like, oh shit, that's a good fucking point. Let me just take this down. But I'm going to still defend my case. But that was a really good point. And now it's like, okay, so now I have to know how to defend around this area. And that's also a perspective to fix. That's also how maybe there's a group of people that also think that way. And I didn't probably think about them when I was setting up my way of how I'm going to do it. So that's kind of like why I enjoy it.
You think? I mean, Aruba isn't really known for like doing debates, no? Like, I think it's
changed.
And sorry, let me rephrase that because we did do a debate on the last election with the millennial debate, but it was like 10 people. I'm talking about like a one-on-one.
One-on-one,
like Trump and Kamala, like
one-on-one.
Like let the leaders like do like a poll where people want to see like I want to see this person versus this person, and then the people decide who to speak.
Yes, we need more debates. Definitely more debates. Yeah,
Columbus notes.
If you notice, it's just when there's elections, then you start seeing some debates come up, and you still question like where do people stand on certain issues and how do they think about certain developments. Whilst if you have debates
throughout
year in, year out, you're going to see how they develop their vision of certain themes as well. So debate is a very powerful tool to really put to test how the politician stands in their views, in their ideas, and where they want to reach in regards to their work.
And it's so funny because there was a project I got approached 2 years ago, by a teacher from the university, and she wanted me to come by to do something, and I was like, okay, I'm probably busy. And then Famia Planya contacted me about something else, and I was like, I'm busy. Like, y'all give me a chance. But I started working on this project, like an after-school program that I want to start.
Yeah.
And in one of them, I have a debate class because I feel like kids need to learn debates. I feel like that's where you learn so much more.
Yes.
You get to do so much.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it also prepares you on how to communicate
and learn to
with
agree and disagree.
research.
Yes.
Learn to agree and disagree, but also know how to do it respectfully.
Yeah.
That.
Because I feel like our when we look at politics, it's like, it's so childish. I mean, it's inter-fucking-taining.
Yeah.
But it's so
But
childish.
that's the problem, though. That's the problem. Because now, too often, what gets known in the general public is that part that is entertaining. And how do we change that for it to be a respectable? It's a serious matter.
It's a fucking serious matter.
So we don't have to entertain the entertainment. We have to entertain the context and what are we doing and what are we talking about?
Instead of blaming everybody else, sí, pero o partido just cinco años pasado. I'm like,
like,
why are we having this conversation?
I mean, I have grown
Wrap it up.
so old in Parliament.
Well, I see no gray hair. You're doing good.
So
Unlike
I
my
did
chin.
a well job covering it up.
I had to go to the barber get it fixed.
No, I've been taken back into time more than back in to the future.
Like even, look at even like Obama back then. Like he goes in, he comes out gray hair, like all this fuck. I'm like, that shit eats your life away.
Yeah, it
really
eats your
does.
energy, it eats your life, and was that you have to remind yourself why you're doing it. To me, once the law for local PD got passed, it ignited a fire in me. I was like,
Bitch,
so it
you
is.
want it.
I was like, it is possible, and I know what fighting for something can lead to. So that ignited also the strength in. It's okay, throw your shade, throw whatever you want. I know why I'm here, and as long as the people vote me to be in a parliamentary election, to be where I am, I'm gonna still fight.
But why are people against you? Like maybe it's something that they don't want. Like you're taking away like a budget from them that could have gone somewhere else.
No.
Or
I think it has to do. If I'm being honest,
All the way honest, baby.
if I'm being honest, I think they realize I'm a force to be reckoned with, and I think they're afraid of change because once you bring about change, you're gonna expose a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
I think that's why if I should say, the bigger parties or the traditional parties are fighting so much to have keep a certain position and control, because once somebody else comes in,
you're gonna see all the shit you did and like, wait a second, you did all of this? Like, nah, this is not correct.
Exactly. And as much as you want to believe that Parliament can ask for certain things, it's not that easy. It's complexer than that. And I do believe I get heavily attacked, or my credibility, or me as a person, my personality gets heavily attacked because I stand firm. I am not governed by fear.
You're not a pushover.
No, I'm not.
That's difficult.
If you want to have a decent conversation with me, if you want to reach something, don't think bullying me will get that done. I am not governed by fear. Listen.
You come from a family of roasters.
Listen. I am not governed by fear, and that message needs to be clear. The more you bully, the taller I'm going to stand. Because I will show you, fear does not conquer me. What conquers me is good conversation, debates, dialogue. Bring something to the table, and we can have a grown-up conversation about it. But don't think bullying me and calling me all sorts of names and calling me fat and my hair this and that does not move a single hair on my body. Because I am not governed by fear.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. But I know, like, you're representing for so many people, so many children, even like your nieces. Like, I can just imagine how proud they must be to just even see like
You're gonna make me cry.
No, I just know because I know like seeing them from like so small, like they've always had such a close bond with you.
No, they're all over
No, we
me.
got, you know.
And I'm a Dia di Tia, by the way, so I'm gonna coin that thing, Dia di Tia. I don't want to hear, can you babysit, can you this, no, Dia di Tia, I'm gonna get attention, and y'all gonna spoil me like I spoil them kids. No, but I remember the day we were debating the law for same-sex marriage, and Amina, my little niece, she's 6, she saw me on TV, and she was like, Tia Misha. She was so happy. And I think it's important also for her, but kids in general, to see women in position. I think it's very important for them to understand. Doesn't matter how you look like, where you come from, you can achieve things once you set yourself to do it and once you set your heart to do it. So it was a very sweet moment to see her get all excited because Tia Misha's on TV. She didn't get why.
I was going to say, like, oh, my God. And you're like, fuck yeah. Like, I don't know what she's saying when I happened.
She was like, the fact that Tia Misha, as my sister was like, I just heard screaming from the living room because she saw me on TV.
She's going to get older and be like, oh, wait, that was happening?
That was what it's about?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were going through that shit.
One of the biggest debates in this period, she was seeing me on TV.
So let's talk about a little bit on the whole same-sex marriage thing. Because I heard like when that was going to be voted in or something, apparently if we wanted to go and change something quickly or some sort of law or... What can you touch on?
Let me break it down for you.
Please, because like again, we are outside of this circle.
I know.
We just hear like birds chirping around us, and then we just bring it up. Facts or not facts?
Pew, pew, pew.
Exactly.
I'm going to bring it to the table. Yeah. The day before we were supposed to treat the law, which was May 8th, we got a mail from the president, the Meneer Vrolijk, who was our last president, saying that we should meet 8:30 in the morning the next day because they wanted to discuss an advice they got about the voting, how we were going to vote. I was like, half an hour before such a big debate, we're going to go into discussion about it. So he invited all the leaders of the fraction. So it was me, it was Meneer Tevreden from MAP, you had Senora Marisol from MAS, you had Miguel. So everybody, the fraction leaders had to be in the room. And then we were told that they were going to change the necessary attendance and how you're going to vote with that.
Okay, so you don't have to be there.
Yeah, exactly. So the reglement van other states, if you're in the room, and I didn't know this because once I stayed quiet in voting for a law, but that was because I saw it being done. I was not aware that
you don't understand like why it was being done.
No, so that only happened once, and that's going to be the only time it happened.
I ain't leaving. I ain't fucking.
And catch me outside. How about that? But you catch me a second time. No, you ain't catching me a second time.
Oh man.
No, but so he wanted to change the way the votes were being tallied and counted and stuff like that. When it came down to it.
Sorry to cut it, but this was
a half an hour before
the voting was
the day of. We were
half an hour before.
The law.
Yeah, he wanted to change how the voting is done.
See, exactly. The day of.
I'm like
the day of. So we're all into that energy, trying to prepare ourselves to defend the law and this and that.
And then they throw your curveball.
Thrown this curveball the morning of, a half an hour before. Okay.
That's crazy.
No, wait for crazy. It's gonna get crazy. So we were told that. Basically, the Constitution says there's room for interpretation, that you could leave the room, the sala de parlamento, and then if you don't, you could leave, but you could also stay in sala se quer queda quieto e vota. I was like,
what?
Okay. And Marisol came in blazing.
Always.
Marisol was like, all these years. Anyway, Marisol, she attended to him, and Marvin also, because they were both president of parliaments in the past. And they said, you can't do this. You cannot do this. So
it's against the law.
It's against the law. So we got together and we read, and basically what it says...
Not the law, people breaking the law. Me quer whack correndo vai ser put this for me quer
No, but I don't think people understand the magnitude of this because you're the president of parliament. Your sole role is to maintain order and to facilitate neutrality because you have the representation of different parties and different people and you have to maintain order. So when he said that and we started looking into the law and the Constitution, mind you, it's the morning of. So we were deviated and we had to go all in, look about what he is saying.
Within 20 minutes.
And then it took, if you notice the day, there were a lot of times that we had to break and go back because we were still discussing this issue. And if you pay attention, I think Miguel Mansour sowieso, but Marisol also mentioned what was going on behind closed doors. So we went to see the Constitution, basically, the Constitution says something about the voting, but they say the way voting is done is in your reglement van orde. So we said, no, the reglement van orde already stipulates how we can vote. Anyways, that happened throughout the day, that. What to me was, that was pretty, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to say with ill intent, but I'm going to have to say...
It was strategic.
It was strategic, but it was to serve the wants of a party. And in this case, MAP. It was to serve them to make sure it was done in such a way that they could get away with how they were comfortable with voting and comfortable with doing certain things.
Well,
Democracy was far from in the room. It was not to be found. Then I understood he was warned by a higher supervisory entity not to do it, and he still did it. To me...
When you say higher, who's above him?
I can't say.
Oh.
But I can't...
On this island or above? Okay.
I can't say.
Okay.
But he was warned. He was warned to not do it, and he still did it. And to me, that was the breaking point. Because if you introduce something and you still go about it in a different way because of lack of information, but you were warned, and then you wanted to guide all the fractions into going to do something that was against the Constitution. The Constitution is the base of our country, is the base of Aruba. If you want to operate in such a way, I cannot deposit my vote in your next term. And without any sign of being reflective of the whole process, it was said that I didn't know procedures. It was said that I didn't follow procedures because we had to wait this, we had to wait. I was like, there's no procedure stipulated
to be followed.
The law.
This is it.
This is the law. So I don't know what exactly you want me. This is the law. And then we informed our coalition partner that we will not be supporting Mr. Vurolik again for a second term, that we would support any other candidate that they push forward. And tata de acuerdo de gobernación. You cannot put black on white that a certain party has a voorzitterschap, because that goes against the controlfunctie. You cannot depict as government who's going to come in the chair of president. See, algo pasa en el parlamento.
It's like a bias thing. Like,
but it's
because like you're gonna favor it. You're gonna sorry to cut you off, but like
no, tell me.
Wasn't he?
Tell me.
But wasn't the Vrolijk guy part of MAP in the past?
He's an active MAP parliament. It's a parliamentary MAP.
And he's sitting as the president of...
Look, we have 21 members, and Parliament decides who's going to represent the Staten as the voorzitter.
But the person who was sitting there, he used to be part of, or he is part of MAP or something.
He is.
So that for me is what I said in the last episode. Yeah. That blows my mind. It's kind of like, I want to run a business. I'm going to put my cousin. Yeah. This also, again, I'm going to go back because I brought it up with Ursula, the whole LNG deal. Yeah. Like the whole, again, I don't know, because Ursula didn't comment on it. He just smiled and didn't say anything. And because I said it's kind of like how...
Ask me, what do you want to know?
No. It's more, because we're going to get into that part too.
Okay.
Because it's just like the part of like, aparentemente, the LNG deal wasn't supposed to happen because the director of WEP didn't want it. And then they gave them a golden handshake. And then they put someone on the director's chair.
Oh, I remember this.
Who was apparently Eveline's family member. And then between her dad, and them struck a deal, closed the deal, signed NDAs, and then the guy stepped down and there's a new director. Like, that's a fucking... So it goes...
Tea.
But the same thing goes like when the parliament. Like you're putting somebody like you can control, in that seat. So, hey, by the way, Misha, me te vas para cos, mi este vota para mí, entonces gente va contra mí, paguen the mic of, of just pointing us in the back. So it's not really fair.
No, but even, let's say...
Sorry, I just like segued big time.
I understand. But let's say we want to hear what's going on with the LNG. Yeah. And we petition for a meeting, let's say. The meeting won't be called because let's say the minister doesn't want to come in and explain himself. Then we as parliament cannot do our job and control because...
That's your job.
No, but you cannot favor the wants of a minister to come in, yes or no. You have to favor the want of Parliament. Parliament has to... Remember the time they did this doorzoekingen with Glambert as well because of Dimas and all of that? Okay, that was on June 4th. I think less than a week later, other members of opposition, I can't remember all of them, but they petitioned on openbare vergadering because we want to know what's going on. So the week after, And the reglement van orde says when we petition an openbare
gotta show
vergadering,
up.
within 30 days, it has to be called. Within 30 days. That was the whole thing with the law from same-sex marriage. I petitioned for it to be called because it wasn't being called. It was being stalled. It was not being...
Give me push back.
Push back, everything you can imagine. So I was like, okay, but the reglement van orde... Like, this is the rules of the house.
Yeah.
Like, if we want to see a minister come in, if you want to call a law to be treated, you have 30 days. And it still hasn't been called, no?
And since
Since
June.
Since June. It still hasn't been called.
So is there like a penalty or something if it doesn't happen? Like what happens if you don't show up?
It
for
happened
Nothing
last week
happens.
Monday.
Nothing happened.
It happened last week Monday. He got reelected. It happened last week Monday. And I think people have to understand this. Se o voorzitter não funciona, e não tem governo para cambiar, e tem parlamento para cambiar. Então, either whether it was a wandelinge afspraak, tussen leden die partijen, kind die voorzitterschap, Allah, but you cannot force me to vote for someone who doesn't have my trust. You cannot force me to do that. Parliament has to function.
But then we kind of have to we can't also scoop over that part because if there was like a verbal agreement on that, then Ursulito, but kind of fake. Like, that's fake shit because why are you making these type of deals and you have a whole party to
It is tradition.
But we didn't vote for you for tradition.
Exactly.
He gave us a bracelet and he was like, we about trust and dignity and all this good stuff.
No, it is, but kijk, it is traditionally so that once you form a coalition, not to agree on who has the voorzitterschap. But that cannot be the law above everything else. You cannot tell me I have to vote for someone na zo'n schending. You cannot tell me si bono vota pe persona que gobierna ta kai.
It's not yourself.
Min of meer, that happened, right?
Yeah,
that
pretty much. Yeah.
right?
It's kind of like they hold
It's
you.
election time.
But it's like, no, I know. But what I mean is like they kind of hold you hostage. Si no has sakin, no gobierno kai. I'm like, are you threatening me right now?
But and I don't think people understand how that cannot be done. But no put bisa parlamento when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. That if you do what you're gonna do,
if you do your job right,
thank you.
We're gonna start
done
over.
with this.
Hey, if you do it, and it's not about the person, because that is being thrown out there like, jeez.
I feel like people are like, we can kind of dive a little bit more into that because people are saying like, but Pafi, Misha, gobierno kai.
By gobernador. Did you see me walk around? Did you see me en route to
Yeah,
gobernador?
that's true. And then they were smiling too.
No, but did you see me? Did you see me walk? No, you didn't, right?
Yeah.
Because I executed a right. Zonder last, I can vote for the president of parliament. And the narrative that is being thrown out there is, I am difficult, I don't like Edgar, represalia because he didn't vote for this, he didn't vote pro for the same-sex marriage. I was like, oh, wow. Was that everything except for the fact what he did against the Constitution? And I was like, I understand this is traditional politics, but they want to break you, they want to break your character, break your credibility.
Yeah.
They want to make it about everything except what it's
content.
about. Yeah, what it's about. It's not about the person. I can like you. We can be friends, but you're going to have to do your job. Mm-hmm. And I can hold you accountable for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you accountable because I was not voted into position
to favor things.
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people ask, pero Teresa iba sostener, no. And I was like, listen.
That also came up, yeah.
No, but a lot of people tell me, I like, listen, well, when you get into it, you start to notice, and opposition scream about everything. There are also political strategies being played. But you don't have a clear understanding of the interaction between the minister when he can come yes or no. But you do know within 30 days it has to happen. But to me, like, this year has been
the year exposure.
Unimaginable how much the lack of neutrality and how far the lack of neutrality was going to go to influence a process. En ik vind het zorgelijk. That's the only word I can make. Het is gewoon zorgelijk. And I cannot sit there and participate and say, I'm going to do this again, knowing what I know. I always say, when you have new information, you have an obligation to reflect and think, what are you going to do next? And that is exactly what I did.
So in your mind, do you feel like Raiz is still the best party for you?
Well, so that is a question, I have to be very honest, that has popped up about the internal developments in the party and how everybody presented themselves when this went down. I do understand that I took a stand, and I took a stand very firmly, and maybe it doesn't reflect in how others took a stand for what happened. But I'm definitely reflecting, let's put it that way, about what do I want to see from a party, from a leader, from myself as a politician. Because when you're fighting the system or when you're going about the change, you need to stand firmly in what you believe in. So it has been brought up to my attention, especially from people who support me, people around me, about where do you stand and do you believe Raiz is still for you? I am someone who I fight for things, and I also believe in things. And I also believe you have to give people a chance to show you what they're all about. And that is exactly what happened in these past few weeks.
What do you feel like you mentioned just in like, you want to see what's in like the leaders, like personality and traits? What do you look for in a leader, like that leads a party?
Ooh, that's a nice one.
I know. I just Googled it. Like,
wow.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm joking.
What do I look for in a leader? Look, I am a person, I do kind of take over sometimes.
which is fine.
I'm a person who, if I want to see something done and I see it's not being done, I'm going to take over.
We're a natural born leader.
I'm going to take over. But that doesn't mean I don't know how to adjust myself to the leadership of someone else.
Hey, you slack over here, I'll pick up the pieces just so you know, but you keep focusing there.
I can be a pilot and a co-pilot.
Yeah.
I can be both. I want to see decisiveness. I want to see people who, listen.
Stand on business.
Listen, if it was part of the program, if it was part of the narrative, Raiz stands for same-sex marriage or equality. Let's put it, equal rights. You cannot expect of me, if a law is presented in the parliament, not to sign it. You cannot expect of me not to push for it, because that's what we stand. That's what I stand for. So if I'm going to push for it, I'm going to push for it, because that's what you have to do. And I expect that. I expect not only from a leader but from a party to stand for what you say you're going to stand for.
We talked about it.
Even if it's not the popular decision, like
I think it's we're way past that.
I know. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm talking to every single person who's watching right now who's now a leader of a party. Like, if you're gonna stand for some shit, like, if people come after you, they're like, it's fine if you think that way.
How many messages I've received, Señora, your Frau. Está de acuerdo con tu cosa. I was like, okay, I'm going to hear it. Pero manera para brigo por conta coisa respetar. Like, and I think they appreciate it, because I might not be your politician, but I am somebody's politician. Because I fight for things I say I'm going to fight for. If you tell me, because we're going to get to that part, I'm busy with a law to introduce children's rights based on the Treaty for Children's Rights into our Constitution. And I'm going to fight for that.
Wait, what does that mean, though? I'm sorry.
It means...
We can dive into it right now.
Because
I also want to go back to some stuff we were talking about earlier.
Okay, no problem. I'm just going to introduce it then.
Yeah.
I've been busy, I think, around a year and a half to 2 years with a law that's going to change our Constitution. And it's going to include children's rights. Because now in our Constitution, there are no separate section that includes children's rights. And these articles is based on the Internationaal Verdrag van het Recht van het Kind. So the International Treaty for Children's Rights. And it has been a very extensive samenwerking with Leiden University of Leiden and also the University of Aruba. Hoogleraren, UNICEF, everybody has been involved. And I just remember this one sentence. Ton Liefhard, he's a hoogleraar kinderrechten in Leiden. He said, if Aruba gets this done, it will be innovation. Because not even Holland has it this far.
Oh, wow.
And to me, that was like, no, this,
I'm like...
Hey,
I got this.
Say no more, fam. Say no more. That is.
Let's go. Where are we going?
Hey, say no more, fam. That to me is like, okay. So Aruba can actually be a pioneer in children's rights in the whole kingdom. And October 1st, that's when we're supposed to get the whole the law itself. Carlos Gaimo concipia a lei, and you know Carlos, ela concipia a lei. University of Curacao was involved because they have a faculty of children's rights.
Nice.
Like the way this law has been prepared, it's
who ain't gonna sign?
Hey, who ain't gonna sign? Who ain't gonna vote for that?
I mean, the color of his nails, you know.
Hey.
Shut up! Stop!
I mean, you said it.
You were thinking it.
But,
so what kind of rights are we talking about here? Like what are the benefits?
One of the biggest one is the rights to not to be abused. not to be
what?
the right to not to be abused.
Yeah.
Abused emotionally, physically, sexually. Because sexual abuse on the island is...
It's crazy.
It's crazy when it comes to our kids.
It's crazy how I don't know much about it. Like,
No,
what are you
it's-
talking about? Like, I'm clueless. Like,
So me, I've been in a psychologist for 11 years. And one of the specialties is trauma treatment for kids who have been sexually abused.
Damn.
And everybody says we need to do something about it. If you ask me, the first thing we need to do is position the children in a way that you cannot go around it.
Mm-hmm.
Our Constitution is the highest law. There's no law that comes above it. Say the Rijkswet. Yeah. I was like, what?
unless you have Rolex, and then
Hashtag too soon. Hashtag too soon. Hashtag too soon. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry,
hashtag too
guys.
soon.
Listen, we're not like
It is what it is.
We're not
No,
like,
but the Constitution is the highest law of our country. And if you put children's rights into the Constitution, every single debate in Parliament, every single law, you would have to go back and visit your constitutional rights. If I had the right to develop also put in the Constitution as a right of a child, the discussion about logopedy wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't even been that
'Cause
conversation.
I was like, this is their constitutional right. You have to make
Just shut
sure.
the fuck up and say.
You have to make sure that you introduce laws and procedures and things for kids to be able to benefit of their constitutional right. So laying down the first base is very important for political debates, for laws, but for also everything to fall in place and say, but it's their constitutional right. And that's why same-sex marriage was made possible, because it's your constitutional right not to be discriminated against on all fronts.
Damn. And you know what I hate about with the fact with children is that I feel like we've seen so much of the news of so many children getting abused by family members and their parents just being like on the bed with them and it's happening and all. Like, it's so sick to where I feel like now if like when I see a message like this comes in, I'm like, oh, here's another one.
yeah.
And
Nothing-
we don't have-
nothing-
It's horrible. Like,
nothing's
how
being
are
done.
you
Yeah.
immune to it? Like,
No, and that is, we have to make sure that doesn't happen. It doesn't have to become the new norm,
it's crazy.
because you can lose very easily that sense of this is wrong and nothing will change.
Because it feels like it's normalized
It
now.
starts to feel normal for how many
See,
cases we've seen. I'm like,
See.
And they,
It
and they
should
get a few
still-
and they get a few years. I'm like, oh, cinco
See.
años. I'm like, what the fuck?
But it's a very complex approach, because it's not just how much years you can get. It's not just
I don't give a fuck
evidence
about that.
collection. It's not just the laws. It's combined. You have to do so many things on so many levels, on so many areas, to make sure you can depict the right route for kids to not be subjected to this abuse.
and it's messed up because because like with that law, you also have to make sure that the abuse is real and it's not a parent coaching a child to say something for another parent.
See,
Yeah, got it.
It's very complex.
I can't imagine somebody not signing, like going, so with a pro,
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get it. You'll get
Like,
it.
yeah,
That's why they don't want- that's why they don't wanna be in the room.
You really gonna be that person? Like, you really want to, like, you didn't believe in children's rights? No, just say, well, sign right there.
But that's why they don't want people to be in a room. It's like, oh, you can vote from outside.
this is why it's important to do your parliamentary work well.
Yeah.
You have to make it hard for them to say no.
Yeah.
Because if they do, tell me why you said no.
Tackle all areas. But that's again what we said about the debates.
Yeah.
That's the debates.
Yeah.
Tell me why you disagree so I can probably fix this.
Year in, year out, you have to hold them accountable for their position, for their thoughts, ideas.
And I want to add to this also, because I feel like this is something like the people need to understand.
Whenever he turns, I'm like, he's going to address the public. I'm like, here we go. He's going to go a little off
Because
right now.
these little bitches need to understand. Listen, y'all hold the power, okay? It's the public that holds the power. Y'all decide who sits in there. And I really don't give a shit who the hell gets to be gobierno for the island or whatever. But I just feel like the public just needs to understand that whoever sits there, we just still need to hold them accountable. Like, ask them questions. Yo, you campaigned and you said this. Why is this not happening? It's been 100 days since you've had your position. What's up with this? And I feel like that's where the government and everybody always gets the benefit, is because Pueblo mes no te uni. Pueblo mes junto no sa ko nankier. Everybody's just looking to get their own self-benefit. It's like, que ko ayon po gana. No, mi tante tiene un trabajo kunang. Pero wala, mi primo ta. Ano, pero costa ko net na to yung dano ni ko.
Unfortunately, that's the old politic ways.
Which is, it's just how everybody runs. Is because if I know I'm not the one suffering from, I'm benefiting. So it's like, I don't have to, I'm not going to fight something that I'm benefiting from. No, que pasabo. And that's wrong. It's really, really wrong.
That's a general idea. Exactly.
I don't like that. I don't fucking like that.
I want to track back. Is because I asked this to almost every politician because I'm trying to get like bits and pieces. Is there anything about the LNG thing you can speak up, or do you know about it? You can bring.
There has been developments. There has been developments.
Nobody tells us shit.
Nobody knows shit.
What I can say is no pipe has been laid down.
Wait, and this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, this was 2 years ago. But that means something in the whole process is taking its effect. You cannot just come and impose something, a project on the island, unless you have everything lined up and everything correct. There have been developments on the matter. I'm just trying to figure out in how far I can talk about the matter. But there have been developments.
By the way, we don't edit things in here, so if you say something, I ain't taking it out. Just letting you know.
Are you trapping me?
Extra word.
No, but let's put it this way. There have been developments in a way that we're getting closer to realizing what's going on.
Okay.
That is the most political answer I'm going to give today.
Which is fine. Which is fine because we had to cut off Ursula a few times. Like he gives the political answer. Like, hey, Ursula, come on, give us a human answer. Don't give us a political answer.
I mean, I don't know if it's all the way fine. I'm just gonna say
no, but we also don't want to get her like in deeper shit. You know,
I'm trying to do that also. But at the same time, I'm like, everybody needs to get a side eye because, what the fuck is this? If we're currently still paying tax money for this, what the fuck is this about?
No, we're not
but
paying
eventually,
we gonna pay.
If we get to that point.
We don't know. What is that point?
Okay.
Well, she just mentioned like things are, the closer we get, the more you start realizing it.
Well, now, as the public, we don't know shit, so I'm gonna just...
But what I want to know is at some point it's gonna be like, was this a shady deal? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
as we get closer, let me finish, Art.
Sorry.
Relax, country.
I'm mad. I'm sorry.
I know. As we get closer to the project, it's like, ooh, wait. So this is what is actually happening, not what you said was going to happen.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly. I mean, let's put it this way. Take it as a sign that no pipe has been laid down yet, and it's not just because of tardiness. It's actually because of things not being in place. And you cannot look. Let me give you an example.
Please, dumb it down for me.
Curaçao put a halt to the whole LNG project because of inflation. So it is possible.
Yeah, I hope it happens.
No, but it is possible.
Yeah.
So there are developments as well within this whole spectrum of LNG that might lead to it not ever being done. But as I said, the developments is not something I can speak of yet. Pero just be aware, there has not been a pipeline down yet. And that is a big sign.
And there's money moving around?
Sorry?
Like money moving around? Like some people are getting paid and then nothing's being done?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. I'm just curious. You know, imagine back to Shark's point, like taxpaying money is going somewhere, but nothing has been done. You know what I mean?
No pipe has been laid down. And not to my knowledge that money is being moved around. But let's put it this way. There are developments.
But what makes this contract so that not even fucking Parliament can find out about it? Like
it's what back then we've been told about the NDAs and stuff like that. Which I thought
Aruba doesn't allow NDAs to start with.
We did put in a motion saying that when it comes to these sort of deals, Parliament either of us has to have a right to see what's going on. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it all was smooth and easy and all of that. Because I think the first time LG was mentioned in the Sali Parlamento, there was a...
What's that?
That emotion de desconfiança também.
Yeah.
And realizing as well, the contract was signed before we even got in as a party.
That makes it even worse.
No, but imagine, you're joining a venture, a samenwerking, a coalition, and something already has been done, but the not affecting, we still have to carry. Was that so? The proper question would be like, how far could we have intervened if it already was signed?
Yeah.
But that does not take away that we have a responsibility to make sure that the people don't get the worst end of the deal. So there are developments in that case, and I do believe and I do hope pretty soon that information is going to come out.
Can I ask you? I mean, of course I can.
I'm like, she's gonna be like, no, you can't. Sorry.
Samir, don't ever ask me.
It's fine. You have to be careful. I just got like a pretty chill questions, you know.
Mine is very chill.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see your party doing another coalition with My Nail Colors, like with MEP?
Was that? Let's put it this way. I think things could have gone differently if we had a bigger representation as a smaller parties. Not to say that Urso should have ventured in when he was invited at Starbucks, because God knows Miguel likes to do those kind of things. But I'm not going to speak on that because he has his reasons, his motives.
100%.
And his mother-in-law passed away, I think, a day or two before that. So I'm not going to speak for anybody, and he is the leader of the party.
100%.
But I do believe next time around, we have to consider uniting forces to have a stronger base when it comes to being in a coalition with a traditional party. Because then your voice becomes a little bit more harder, more sterner, and you do have a broader base when it comes to decision making. So that is something I believe should be the course we should take. Like, how do you amplify the position of a smaller party when we do go into a coalition? But it's very hard to say, because the decision is not just on one politician.
Of course.
The decision is also in a party, in a group, but also the people. How do they vote? Besides, if the people still vote in a majority, not majority, but in a very big way for a traditional party, that says something about the people. You get the government you choose for, eh?
Now, speaking of I'm so sorry. I know you have a question. I'm so sorry.
I'm used to it.
What? Fuck you. But what are, to you personally, what are three positive and three negative things you would say you've learned from doing a coalition with like a big traditional party like MEP?
Let's start on the three positives.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like everything was bad.
I can imagine.
No, there were moments that we sat together and aimed our vision to something we wanted to achieve together from Parliament, from the government. I want to believe that at the end of the day, everybody is in it because they want to achieve the greater good. How everybody wants to achieve it, I leave it to everybody. You have to sleep at night with your conscience. It's not on me. I think the first thing I would say is when you unite in the greater good and create a vision for that, you do become an unstoppable force. So I do believe there's strength also in a coalition because you keep checks and balances and you keep each other a little...
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. But you're like, you can't do this. Believe me, there were things where you're like, you're not going to get support for this, not even from us. So there's this dynamic of checks and balances. You do learn a bit as well of how to carry certain ideas forward. I'm speaking now in Parliament. Now you do get this idea of how to bring things forward. I'm at 1, 2. How many am I?
I think this is 2.
Yeah. I was like, wait, is this 2 or 3?
Yeah, this is 2.
Let's go for the third one. And yeah, look, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in these past 3 years. And the government fell. The coalition is non-existent, to say the least. And the communication is non-existent. It's horrible. And I don't believe it should be that because a decision was made in the name of democracy. So I'm gonna jump right into the negative. You do not. It's not all about you. It's not all about me. It's not all about a person. It's not about a party. It's about Aruba. And the thing that I would say the most is I've seen a lot of times other interests play a role instead of the general interest of the public. And I must say that it is very disheartening to see. What I saw also is, I would say the immaturity. The immaturity of not supporting ideas from the opposition, which we have done as a party in the parliament. We've supported motions from Miguel Mansour, motions from Akonet Khan, motions from Mike Iman. We've co-signed many things, like I've co-signed a law with Miguel Mansour. So I think that is the new normal we should get at. Parliament should function as parliament, and that is a representation of what the people want. So I think the immaturity that I've encountered and the political strategies and games that are played, I think that is something, I wouldn't say people are going to do what they're going to do unless they're held accountable for it. But I'm going to say it's disheartening because at the end of the day, the person who benefits the least from this is people in our community. So I'm not sure if we counted it all.
Yeah, it's all
but
good.
I think that the main message is there are things to learn. There are things to take away from the experience, but there are so much more we still have to fix.
Amen.
So, yeah.
Is there anything, because I mean, we kind of like jumped a little bit everywhere, like,
Yeah.
but is there anything else you would like to add on in terms of what happened, like, Dia de Gobyerno Kai? Like,
Was that?
what are some stories you want to add on to, like, kind of like your truth of what happened, you know?
I think what happened is, map no quera para cara. With the kid lo qual pasa very easily.
In what sense, pera cara?
They didn't want to take down Edgar as a president because they would have to explain that. And I think they don't want to take another loss because kung bij being same-sex marriage passa, kung bij being dat influem cosi taxista na, and I want to get a deal ku voorzitter no tem mas. Whilst if you understood well and understood that you don't have support for this person anymore, in my opinion, the most democratic thing would be to appoint someone else. Appoint someone else, and let them carry out the rest of the period that we're there. And that's basically it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm happy the government went home. Obviously not, because it does have its effects and it does have its consequences. But I'm also very stern in my position that you cannot overimpose a decision on me when democratically we had to choose someone to represent the Parliament of Aruba.
Fairly.
So, fairly.
And I think this is the first time somebody that's not from AVP or MAP that's sitting in that seat, right?
Yeah. I think in the past, like, I think Marisol was independent once.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Ieder geval, coming or stemming from a different party, I think this is the first time in decades. So I think it is also a signal and a clear message that we as a party, it doesn't matter how big you are, you do have something to say. And you do not have to fall in line or follow procedure because that's how it's always been done. We're not here to do things because it's always been done like that. We offered a proposition to bring somebody else. That was not something they were willing to entertain. Okay, now we're going to revert back to, democratically, we're going to choose someone else. And I've heard that we have a complot with AVP, we have a complot here, complot there. Gosh, hey, they're going to have to add a lot of things to that.
They're also not throwing Helena under the bus because she announced her party, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, like, there's a Mike Amon plan. Mike Amon is trying to do, like...
Like, I don't know what the general idea behind all of this is, but when democracy reigns in Parliament, it's not a complot. Yeah. I have to say Raymond has been elected in the past by the whole of opposition as the president of the Staten, but that was a time, and I have to be all honest, he was like, no, we're going to keep with what we've agreed on. And to this point, we know there are some issues, but we don't see that
fake shit like that.
And so to say that it's a complot and we brasa corruption, all I'm hugging are my nieces. All I'm hugging are my nieces. Pero to see how far people will go to spin a narrative that is absolutely not what happened.
Which is crazy because you just mentioned earlier as well, as like they say, Misha abraça corruption.
Sí.
Meanwhile, the president, the Parlamento, minister son cualquier ley. There's like, who's really the corrupt one here?
Like, I've been called corrupt also because of what I did with Logopedie. Like, if you want to call me corrupt for pushing for children,
so be it. So I'm the most corrupt.
And if me being called corrupt gets kids to actually get speech therapy and help the development, redefine corruption.
Bro. Queen corrupt.
Yeah. Hey, hold that pause. Hold that. Do it again. That's my thumbnail. That's what I need. I'm gonna use it as a thumbnail. I wish I had that when I was younger. Like, I have a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. First of all, as everybody already noticed, I have ADHD. I think so.
No, do you?
I don't know.
I didn't notice.
You know how I know? I Google the symptoms and have like 8 out of 10. I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay.
But like, I hope
you are ADHD.
Okay, I'm gonna have a session with you. Let me know.
You do that
free of charge.
Hey.
It's a pro bono. I know.
Okay. Hey.
But I have problems speaking articular. Thank you. Hindi problema pa articular pa via. My thoughts are so much faster than my mouth. So in my head, I say it right. Like, Kiko yung mabisa? Like, como que wala comprende yung mabisa?
Even though you got way better in it. I'm gonna give you that. You're way better in it.
I've been like, Samil, papi, slow. But when I do that, I'm sorry. I feel like dumb. Like,
Yeah.
pero I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, dude.
You don't want to lose your spark. Look,
No,
you know what? I have to say, I love working with kids with ADHD. They're all over. You know how many kids have fallen from the chair in front of me? Because it's all over the place.
Yeah, 100%. That's
But
how I got
do
my life.
understand, as you grow older, you do get faced with a lot of challenges because of ADHD. And I think that is something to consider. And when I fight for something like logopedy, and sometimes maybe the message doesn't come across why I'm doing it for, but it's especially for those kids who now have a chance to benefit from something like that.
And they don't have a voice.
And don't tell me, Costa Tara, papasa, buting paciente, because that 6-year-old in 4 years will be 10 and cannot benefit from the speech therapy like he would have if he were 6.
Or it will be too late for them because they've already developed, like, this is my reality.
They learn to live with that. Like, that's it.
Even
There's
me,
a
like,
critical period when you can get that speech therapy.
even for me, like, there are some things which we spoke about last night, like, that I didn't get as a kid, which affected me today. Like, I have a hard time being affectionate. Like, saying, like, I love you. Like, things like it's like,
he don't like that.
Bro.
Why do you say so? I love you.
He's like, read about it. I'm like,
It's,
I love
listen,
you.
like,
I think everybody should send some voice note and tell him they love him.
you know what my thing is when my wife's like, I love you. Like, you know why? Because, like, if you ate an Oreo cookie every single day, you get tired of it. Then you have a Chips Ahoy, like, oh.
I'm
That's not it.
Let me finish. So when I so because I don't tell her all the time, but when I do tell her, you know, I fucking mean it in the moment.
Boy, shut the fuck up. Because I tell my mom every day I love her and I do it every fucking day.
But it becomes like just like everyday thing.
No.
Guys, let's just stick with my shit. Let's agree, disagree.
Yeah, no.
You can never
Therapy session. Let me know.
You can never get enough love.
Thank you.
God,
Thank you.
guys, this is about the government today. Now about a fucking therapy session. Why is it always like, guys, 3 minutes therapy session for Samuel. Let's help him.
You need it, you know?
Anyway, so talking about crazy things, Evelyn mentioned, maybe I'm wrong, because she'll be open to a conversation of a coalition with MAP and AVP.
Ain't that something?
That was like,
Wait,
what
what?
the fuck? Yeah, she said it
she
publicly,
said
like, I'm open to the conversation of sitting down,
Do you know why?
because they know the young ones are going to take over, and they have to, like, stick with the old guys.
That could be it. I have my own theory.
Go for it, please.
I do have my own theories.
Pearl.
Before you jump into it, that being said, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
We would like to have an episode outside of No Filter, me, Shark, Mike, Evelyn.
Yeah.
And just have like we're having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps. Like, let's just talk. Like, what's going? Like, why can't you guys agree? What's this history of
I think
always
that's good.
fighting?
What is it about?
Like,
I would
want
want to see that episode.
Right?
No, I would like for like guys, let us know.
Yeah.
Fucking comment down below.
Sí,
Like,
sí.
let's make this shit happen again.
Evelyn and Mike, call them
Mike,
out.
yeah,
Like,
Evelyn, Mike, vos dos te cordialmente invitados, bien querido. Cada punto de mesa,
Yeah.
ano ko siya
Yeah.
like, it's not like a, sí, pero 5 años pa sabi, like, we don't give a fuck
give a
about
fuck.
that. We care about, like, how can we just come to a common fucking ground where
Yeah.
everybody can agree, like, what's up, let's do what's best for Aruba and not, like,
I don't
colors.
even know if both of them even have it in them anymore. Like,
I don't know.
Aruba even cares to want to stick
No,
with
no,
it.
no.
I don't-
But
I understand
still,
what you're
it's
saying.
because those are the two biggest parties that
Yeah.
always bitch in the fucking government. Sí, bro. Fucking 5 años pasados,
Yeah,
Mike
it's always a blame
Sutata asked
game.
him like, sí, bro, Evelyn, what I'm like, who
Sí,
gives
sí,
a
sí,
fuck,
sí,
dude?
sí, sí.
I'm sorry. Like, the people don't care. Like, what? Lower the fucking taxes.
Yeah.
I made so much. Like, no, I made
Yeah.
like half of that because
Yeah.
the rest, the government took it.
Yeah.
But at least it goes in a good way for the kids.
But Misha, you were going to say something.
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
about the comment that she
Yeah.
made about she's willing
The
to work with
coalition.
AVP. I think she said it and said if Danny Sivingen and Mike Eman were not part of the party anymore. I think that was what if I'm not mistaken, I think that's
I
what
think
she said.
Benny's not on the list.
No,
anymore.
he's not on the list
But
anymore.
what do you think about his daughter being on the list now, replacing him?
What's that? I do feel it's traditional politics. I do feel it's a way to maintain certain votes. I do feel it's a way to secure that those votes don't go to another party or another
Correct.
politician.
I think so too.
As I said, I want to see content. I want to see contenido. I want to see what her ideas are. I
wanna see what
applaud
she-
younger people joining politics.
Same,
I really
same.
applaud that. So I'm happy to see that she took this step. But I want to see what is your vision? What do you come with?
What you about?
AVP is a party that has had its ups, has had its downs, has had its moments. How do you feel you're going to participate in rebranding and refreshing the image AVP has right now?
I'm sorry, but that new logo ain't it.
They have a new logo?
no.
Have you seen it?
No.
Bro, it's like some kid drew it.
I'm so... Claudette.
I do like what kids draw. So.
You know what I mean. Like,
know what you
don't throw me under the bus like this. Like, look at his nails, all right? Remember the nails. God damn. Let me,
Okay, but wait.
But to answer the
your
question,
theory.
I
I want
say,
to...
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Focus on the drawing.
I'm sorry. I am looking at
Okay,
it.
let's talk.
I do believe preemptively, I think she said that because there might be a moment that smaller parties are going to be like, we don't want to work with you because of how you treat smaller parties or these decisions that are made or blocking certain things, certain projects, and feeling or thinking that you're going to control everything, Parliament.
Because you've always done it for so long.
Yeah. So I do believe there's maybe a fear that smaller parties won't want to work with MAP. And that's why they're trying to open up the space and open up the conversation that even that is possible in the future after elections. So I have a theory about that they're open up. Yeah, but I said that back then. So it is possible for a samenwerking between MAP and F because that has never been said.
No, and plus, not just that. It's also the fact that smaller parties don't want to work, maybe not want to work with MAP only because they threw down the government twice.
Yeah.
Just because why? It's like, I know Shark, if he's a business person, I want to work with you, but I know like he just jumps ship when things don't go his way. I'm like, I'm not going to work with you because if
You're not reliable.
100%, I can't count on you.
And I feel like that's the same thing with how looking at even that comment, like her working with Mike, I mean, with
That has
APP.
never been said.
It could also be strategic. Like,
It's
I'll
100%
say it.
strategic.
I'll say it.
But I also feel like it's so something where y'all can't even agree on what roads we need to fix first.
Yeah.
How long is that actually going to last? Because you've been showing a history of if things don't go your way, it's go behind the way.
Yeah.
So Aaron is what expect election like maybe like 6 months with it after y'all started or something like.
Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out.
See?
Day away. I know what. Hindi mi stress ko na. Hindi mi kas. Pero whoever's in charge of the Chakaya, the road by Tanki Flip that they just recently fixed. I love the fact that they only work at night.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
whoever came up with that, give this fucker a raise because it was during the day. It just makes everybody's life hell. And then they start working at 8 p.m. and they work till like, sometimes it affects me because there's a food truck there that I like and I can't get to it. But
that should be the reason.
yeah, don't do it. But like from 8 p.m. to like 1 a.m. they're working, and I don't even realize what the fuck? The road? When the fuck did they fix this? So props to
It's election time.
It is. Props to them. But please keep doing nighttime work and also speed up the Palm Beach one because that's affecting a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
A lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nasty. The one for the hotel.
This is the logo. It's like a cartoon.
Okay, it's cute.
It's playful.
I would like touch it, you know?
It's playful.
With a stick.
Yeah, just like,
I'm kidding. Let me see. I had some more things over here. Anything else? By the way, if there's any other thoughts you want to add, please, you're more than welcome.
Yes, I do.
Go for it.
I do want to talk about the bullying. I do want to talk about
In Parliament and government?
Or online.
everywhere.
Okay.
Online, Parliament.
Sometimes
government.
bullying does create tough
See,
character.
No,
you know?
absolutely. But
Look how tough Shark is.
what I think is a problem, though, it's become normalized.
Yeah.
It's become normalized to bully people in such a manner because you're a public figure. And I know this is something worldwide. I know it's that, but I think it's a depiction of what has become normalized other than what we spoke about earlier, that I don't think that is the right direction. You cannot just go behind a computer or say something to someone's face that is in that sense bullying. Everybody's against bullying unless it's against a public figure. That's not okay. I'm not speaking for myself just as a politician. I've seen bullying happen on all levels with all people just for the sake of sensation and just for the sake of
fitting in also.
Fitting in, but also going with a narrative that bullying is okay. And I do want to speak on it because bullying affects a lot of people, especially kids. And we have to show what we want our community to represent. And I think it's too much. It's horrible.
Yeah, and I feel like it kind of starts at home.
Yeah.
Most of it is from kids. Kids even bully each other. And they get that from parents or like just listening to grown folks' conversation, the way they even in closed doors, how they would degrade somebody that they call their friend. I feel like that's like where you kind of get like the first instincts of, oh shit, because I can remember as a child like hearing grown people talk about somebody that just left the room, and I'm like, oh, that's auntie, you know, and then they're like, yeah, you know, should she do that? And they wouldn't, and that's like,
the fuck?
Wait, that's how we treat the people that we like. We cool, we no.
But respect cannot be selective, huh? You cannot be selective with your respect. You cannot respect the one person, but the other person I don't like, so I'm not going to respect you. Respect is something you carry with you, and in the way you talk and speak and how you address people. And I do feel like it's time we open up that discussion of how political bullying has been taking place and how do people participate in that, because it does showcase to the outside world, to the younger generations, how we treat each other. So that is my appeal.
And another thing to add to that, and shout out to my friend Andreska Boston, okay? She actually did a thing at Mont Plaisir. We did like a carousel.
Yeah.
And it was about the bystander effect. So bullying is one thing, but if you're going to stand around and watch people get bullied and you do absolutely nothing about it, you're even worse than the person doing the bullying. Like,
exactly.
Speak up, be a leader, say something like, yo, that's not cool or whatever. Pero if you're just going to stand around and demay or say nothing even, like you're still part of the problem.
Exactly.
So I just want to add on that.
Thank you for your addition.
I got you, baby. You know?
I got nothing right now. I'm like,
he basically got bullied. That's why you can tell.
I know. Tell. I had a unibrow. They used to call me Samuel Happy Meal, like McDonald's.
Oh gosh.
It was.
Your hairline used to be messed up.
That I used to be like a fat also. I lost weight.
And you like listen to those nerdy things.
First of all, fuck you.
I'm going too far with
it. That part is like childhood.
Samir was like, it's my confession.
Like, listen, time. I'm taking advantage. She can help me. You're like, Samir, you have problems.
I like that nerdy thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I like Star Wars Legos. That's my hobby. Like when I'm stressed, like let's build something.
Do you?
It's cute. It's cute. I think it's cute. I'm not mad about it.
It's okay. Be you. It's okay.
I want to burn all those fucking Nicki Minaj things you got in the back.
I mean, that's the difference with us.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not that. It's not that serious.
So, like, who do you think? Abuke Wak, like, sit in this chair you're sitting on right now? Like, who do you want to see? Because, like, obviously we've had Don, we have Ursel, now we have you. Like, obviously we'll stop. Like, election is around the corner now, so like we obviously we're talking about. I see who we want to bring, and we don't want to. We're also limiting how many people we want to bring, because we don't. Again, guys, No Filter is not a political show. It's an opinion-based show where we have conversations with people about life, and depending on their profession, we talk about politics or whatever the fuck they're doing. So this is not about. We're not a politics show. What we are planning on adding, like, an extra episode a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Directly towards like who should be sitting here. Like for example, I would like to see Mike Amon sit here and be like, let's talk about your party. Like, why are you adding these people that have this history?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are you adding this person's daughter? Is it because of what she does, or is it because your friend used to like shit like that? And it's not. And we don't care. We want to talk about like present and future. The past, we'll touch a few things, but we don't give a fuck that much.
No, I get that.
What can you change? What's gonna make you different? You know. So who do you want to see, or who do you think we should reach out?
Someone from my own party, or someone from
any?
Give me one person from your party, and then some random person from any other party.
For my own party, I think Carlos Gaimu. The views he has on democracy and how to fix the system for the public to be more participatory in decisions and decision making, I think is something that, especially the people who listen to No Filter should be exposed to. I think he has a lot of good ideas, and he has ideas how to help as well, no? So when I threw it out there, like, I want to put children's rights in the Constitution, I thought he was going to be like,
what?
I can't do that. and he's very always like on it, and information-wise and transparency. That is something very big that he is about. I think the message...
He talked about that on Vote Peking.
He talked about transparency, and the Publico Dataway is something he had speared that into existence. And I think it's a very good idea to also conscientize people why democracy is very important, and how do we get to a new democracy. And
also learn how to agree to disagree. Like,
learn how to agree to disagree, especially that. The party is still evolving, and new people are still being included as such, but to be out there, I think he could really explain things to a manner that you would understand, one, why your vote counts and why you're going to participate in a more democratic system. If it's somebody from another party, Miguel still owes me a coffee, so we might ask Miguel. No, but if it's
make sure you're sitting here so when he walks in with a coffee, here you go.
Here you go.
We're even. Like, get out of here.
I think someone from a different party. I've come to really respect the way Aquanette Gunn has done her politics. She's very well prepared in her stuff. The idea she brings forward and the way she addresses people, I think.
Who is she with?
She was my teacher.
Yeah,
She's with Marisol.
Oh, Marisol. Okay.
You see, that's why I want her to come on.
Okay. No, but this is why this show is great. Is because sometimes I just don't know shit or Shag doesn't know things.
Now, I think Aquanette brings about a politics that is a little bit truer to the nature of doing it respectful. Even when she is confronted with disrespectful comments and such, I think she answered it gracefully.
Yeah.
So I am not carrying her political campaign with her.
Disclaimer.
But I do believe she has done the job in a way that is something to really appreciate and to admire. So I think those would be my answers.
Okay, nice. You have anything else you want to add?
I feel like my things would be a bit more on the messy side, so I don't think so. Like,
What do you mean? I'll give you a chance to ask one question that's a little bit messy, and then we'll close it off there.
Oh, that's so messy. Why would you give me a whole big question? Let me just think about it.
Okay.
So, if you had the opportunity, okay, because I feel like a lot of people now feel like Raiz kind of like fucked them over in a bit. Like people that voted, that were like very hard voting and campaigning for Raiz, they were like, yo, what did Ursula do? And like, what's going on? So let's say, for instance, if this was whatever, if Raiz did not exist, what other party would you be in?
Oh, that's a good question. What other party I would be in? It's definitely not going to be a traditional party. I don't think my views collide. No, my views do collide with the traditional parties. I don't think it would be a traditional party.
To make it easier for you on Shark's questions, give us two options.
Two options.
Ooh.
Because we don't want it's hard to like one like no.
What was that?
I don't know. Sorry, oh, my bad. give us two. If you want three options, and then.
But I think it would be a newer party, and it wouldn't be a party with that is head speared by old politicians. Like, I think Marisol can do what she does, but I think to really incorporate how I see politics and how I want to bring it forward, it would have to be different. And there are a few options left.
Think of two people right now.
Yeah. The most obvious, Lotong Gerlin, who's Partido Novo. Pero Miguel también. The thing is,
Miguel is Miguel.
But I've told him this before. Like, he has a lot of potential, but the problem is he doesn't let his messages land because it gets all this noise of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Miguel. Come with some coffee and we can talk.
Yeah.
But I do, and there are many things that I've supported of him or I agree with him. Helaas, Gerlin didn't really show much in Parliament. Okay, this is where she stands on certain things. I know she can really put up a debate and how she can put herself forward. Pero Miguel me tatawak, hopi mas, emosyon ta sali, amendments ta sali. So you could really.
You see what he's standing for.
But I think, as I said, parties develop, things develop, leadership style develop, leaders develop as well. But it definitely would be a new party. And the only option with the WAC, of the options that I see right now, is I could find my way in one of those parties. I could. But I think it depends on if I could also feel... I think it depends if I could also feel like I have enough space to do what I came to do.
Yeah.
And that is to fight for children's rights and not be repressed in what I have to say and when I have to say it. But I do stand for what I stand. And if it leads to you guys inviting me over a few years again because of something I did,
like, you fuck, I'm kidding.
Noise I caused, and I'm gonna be like,
you're like, can I come back? Like, sure, come on.
Listen, I think this is a good way to also add for anybody that's going to sit down. Like, y'all should feel free to reach out to outlets and let update public, because like there's a lot of people, especially students in Holland,
Yeah.
that follow the show, and this is like their comfort. Like they always express to us like this is their way to connect to the islands from being so far away. And if we can get, like, not every time, but if we can lewa get some, hey, this is what's going on in politics. This is the updates on what is going on the island, just from not our perspective, but also from somebody that's actually in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we need to hear more.
We need to have more of those discussions. And I think it's also, because I know a lot of what I'm saying today is going to get taken out of context. And that,
Yeah, of course.
Let's stack Misha.
By the way, guys, if anybody's clipping anything, make sure you post the whole clip, not a small part.
Exactly.
That's my job. I'm posting the clickbaits.
My favorite little ADHD. That's not going to happen.
At least I'm a favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to be taken out of context. I want me to play partido ni Miguel. I want to play
Now you can blame him because he came up with the question.
It's okay. I mean,
I don't care.
You know what'd be dope, going back to the partidas and voting and stuff. I mean, imagine like it comes to the point where like all the small parties have enough votes to unite and be like,
that would be
throw out all the traditional, and traditional's like, shit, we need to work together to go fight.
But she said they could though.
Yeah. Imagine it comes to the point where all the small parties get enough votes to be like forced evenly, like, hey, Matt, let's go see Dallas. No, we're out.
Yeah, but I do want to say this though. The political parties, it's a development. Was that
100%.
You have to move with the times, and you have to move with what the public is saying that they want.
Facts.
And I do feel and believe a lot of times you get sucked into this bubble because of your surroundings and people who are, we're gonna do. But you have to understand the times are changing.
Yep.
And the way people are voting is going to be a direct reflection of where do we want to go as a community.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to stress this enough because I've heard a lot of young kids or young people don't vote.
What
If
happens
you
if
don't
we
vote,
don't?
your vote is going to go somewhere. It's going to go somewhere.
going.
It's going
Where?
to end up
Where?
somewhere.
To the bigger parties.
It's going to end up somewhere. Your vote has value because at the end of the day, the more you present yourself and show up and deposit a vote, the direction of your vote is more clear. If you don't, it's still going to end up somewhere. And I cannot stress this enough. Vote. Vote. If there's one thing you want to do, take that little paper that says your full name, your government name, and go vote.
And not invalid, because I feel like that's a
Oh,
conversation.
but don't say that, because my aunt can really see, but she really believes she voted for you. Okay,
Bro, but it's a thing now. It's
It
like
is
a
a
whole
thing.
movement where
Say it,
there's
say
like a
it.
group of people now, and they're like,
Yeah.
listen, we're going to go and vote
Say it.
invalid
Say it. But say
just
it.
so
Say
they
it.
know, like,
It's
we
gonna
don't
end up
agree
in
with
a-
nobody.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. Say exactly.
Put it
exactly.
somewhere.
Agree with read.
Find someone I like their values. I'll vote for them.
Yeah, exactly. Inform yourself.
Inform yourself.
With today's day and age, the websites, was that the program?
Podcasts, like Vota Pa King is coming back.
Exactly, but inform yourself. Because je kan geen beslissing maken, I'm going to bust it in Dutch. Je kan geen beslissing maken met geringe informatie. If you do not have enough information, you cannot make a decision. So inform yourself about a party's ideologies, ideas, where they want to, the vision, but also how it's being presented in the community. And I think that is the best thing we can do. Inform yourself.
The second best thing you can do is subscribe to this channel, because that's how you're gonna get all the information.
No
Here, and also, guys, Vota Pa King is coming back. So I'm gonna
cool.
put Instagram of Vota Pa King in the description.
Same.
So go follow it, because there's a lot of shit coming there.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's gonna be good. It's
And
gonna
a
be
lot
good.
of people also express, like, with Vota Pa King, they're like, they don't want to read. They're not going to follow nothing. They don't want nobody to come to their house. They're waiting for Vota Pa King, and that's how they're going to find
That's
out.
something I've always stood on. I was like, what do you buy? What do you buy?
Why?
I
Make
was like,
social media videos. Dude.
But I was like, how do people in the States and Holland do it? Like, you can't go to all the houses.
Yeah.
So you really have to make sure your message is clear.
Make content.
And you have to
Make content.
Because I love my people.
Listen,
I can't go to all the houses.
you can go door to door. Like after 10 hours, you went to like 150 houses.
Yes, and online.
You stay here for 1 hour, make one video, boosted. You got like 4,000.
And if
people
you say something viral, Like
Exactly.
when I just got it.
Well, like how I'm gonna tag this video.
Yeah.
Maar
yeah.
wie Misha beginnen krijgt vraagteken. Wait, what?
I didn't see me like this.
Like, we,
I did it.
and I'm putting Nicki Minaj right next to it.
Of her.
Not a worry. No.
Actually, that's good. That's good. And then they come to the show, it's like, oh wait, it's actually the opposite of it. Gotcha, bitch.
That's great. That's how you got it. That's how you got it. But,
all right.
yeah.
Misha, we're gonna end this here. I have one little question
Sí.
Regarding this show, because again, we're not the best when it comes to like political stuff.
Yeah.
What's one advice you can give us? Like, you should add this to your show. Like, if you want to go into interviewing politicians.
When interviewing politicians, I think I appreciate that you don't want the political answer.
We don't.
Because I do appreciate that you want to see transparency and you want to see opinions. And at the end of the day, it's my opinion.
And it's also, that's one. We want people to come here and express their opinions and bring their ideas. And we want to kind of like question those ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we have a conversation.
Exactly.
And let the people who are watching decide like, I fuck with that. Or I actually don't like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's okay. Look, if you put yourself in a position to be criticized and questioned, let him criticize and question.
Yeah, exactly.
Like let it be done. That is definitely something that I'm here for.
Oh, I love that.
And like no, seriously, like you cannot put yourself in a position and then close off. You don't want to answer anything.
Yeah.
I do understand the sensitivity of things because it is at the end of the day politics. But as I said, after today's show, somebody's like, hey, I like the way she speaks. I like the way she presents. But another person could also be like, that's not for me. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because that's how democracy works.
Yeah.
But I do want people to get a glimpse of how I think and who I am. And the only way to do that is by being transparent and being open and
being
upfront
human.
about your information.
I'm honest.
Being human.
I'm
like,
not an AI
yeah.
bot. I'm not an AI bot.
What I mean is like you're sitting here and like you're expressing your emotions, how you feel. It's not just like, here's a question. I don't know what to go by. I'm like, bro, what is this? Braveheart?
I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
Go for it. Give us your best Mike Iman impression.
Você pensa que tem nosso futuro, de nosso país, nosso vestig... No, I'm just kidding.
Watch this be the first thing people see, like, who the fuck?
Then they're going to say, like, I've seen her speak. That wasn't a No, but I mean, hey, I observe people, I observe behavior, so I can sit here all day.
You see the antics up in there, like it'd be that's a circus.
Shark, I'm going to call you Sharky right now.
That's how serious it is.
That's how serious it is. Like sometimes, and I think people see me like just stare, and I stare into beside the sky and things, and I was like, seems like it's going to rain a little bit today because I have to dissociate myself from what's going on in the parliament, and that is not a good sign.
And then people looking at her like, wow, this girl's really in her thought. What are you thinking about?
I thought thinking, but
like, what am I having dinner for now?
And sometimes I'm like this. I'm like, are we really talking about this? Is this the level? Is
and
this
personal stuff.
Yeah.
Personal. Besides, I'm like, also, this is the problem that people keep mentioning. That we have, and you can never expect other people to up their level if you don't up it yourself.
There should be like a penalty thing. Like if you mention something like about someone's family, for example. No, as in like you get fined 5,000 florins. Like,
I mean,
sorry, pay up.
They're dropping gobierno just because somebody didn't want to agree with something. Like,
it's
so can you imagine a penalty? That's probably gonna get waived or something. We don't even know what's happening with this energy thing. So,
well, anyways, we'll see. Well, Misha, let's round it off, Kinala.
Thank you.
No, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sitting. We call it the hot seat when it comes to this show.
It's pretty comfortable to me.
It is. It doesn't. This is what I like about this show. Is that people come here and they feel comfortable. They can talk about whatever they want, express their feelings, put everything into context.
I love a good conversation.
Good.
I love a good conversation.
and please tell the other politicians I'm not scary.
Who? You?
Yeah, there's something like, no,
Oh my God, nobody wants to interview with me. Yeah. They're all scared. They're like, oh my God, Shark is gonna take it there.
If you want to be the realest person in the room, you have to have real people interview. So if you can't be real, you're not gonna be interviewed by real people.
Exactly.
I will come on this hot seat anytime.
And I also appreciate you, just like Ursula and Dangi. They all came on the show without asking. That will never happen here.
That's not gonna be. It's not gonna.
It's not authentic.
It's not authentic. Yeah. And you guys represent questions that are being asked from the public. Yeah. And if you can't handle two people asking you questions, how are you gonna?
Plus, like I didn't even get a chance to ask all of them because there's a few.
Hey, but you can invite me next time.
Yeah, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. And for the booking is also coming up, so
Yeah, so
exactly,
we'll probably be
exactly.
seeing you again very soon.
No problem.
for sure.
All right. Once again, Misha, thank you for coming on the show. Guys,
My pleasure.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment. Who do you guys want to see interview next? And we'll see you guys next week. Peace. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Good.